Morning, and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, and welcome back to Project Monty. This is day 7, we're on the home straight. Let's get on with it. Okay, so yesterday I painted these. They're done in nice direct gloss, they're nice and shiny, nice and smooth, nice and white. I am going to give them a polish though, just because I can. I actually want to see how much better they do come up when they've been polished. So I'm going to do that now, and then get the car down the drive and get them on. Right, so what I've done with these is I have, let me just put these down a second. What I've done is been painted white, and on the back of them I've put some tape back in exactly the same positions as the tape was on the car. Now I'm just going to go over that with a bit of brake cleaner just to clean it off. Same on that one. But what I've also done is I've mixed up some 2-part pound shop resin glue. And I'm going to put a couple of blobs, maybe there and there, just to make sure it's stable and it's not going to come off. There's no reason these are ever going to need to come off again, and obviously that will make it more difficult to get off, but I don't want to trust, because those tabs, although they're tabs, they don't particularly look, do they actually even go in anywhere? I don't think they do, you know. You've got holes there, you've got a hole there, hole there, hole in the middle and a hole there, but these little things here, I think they're just to keep them straight, because there's no actual, oh no, there are little clips. Oh, actually maybe they will be okay. You know what, I'm still going to put a little bit of glue, just a little bit, just to give it a helping hand. It probably doesn't need it, but just to be on the safe side. So I'm just going to go and get the brake cleaner, and then we'll get this clean, and then we'll stick them on. So I'm just going to spray that on. This evaporates really quickly. I've got most of the residue off of what was on there before, but I just want to make sure it's scrupulously clean and let that evaporate. It evaporates really quickly, and we do it on the other side. The other side actually seems to be a bit dirtier. Like all these things, dirt gets down behind the back of them, and this is the only really time that you ever get a chance to get these things clean. And the brake stuff will also is also a degreaser as well, obviously, which will help it to stick, as long as you let it evaporate before you try and stick it on. So obviously you don't want it to be wet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dab on some of this 2-part resin glue quickly. So all it is, it's mixed up. This is, as I say, this is the pound shop stuff. It's just mixed up on the back of an old raspberry container from the supermarket. I've just got it out of our recycling, so I'm just going to dab it on the back. Just cut in a couple of places, so maybe on that there, maybe the middle, just to give it a helping hand. Maybe on that one. Not even sure you're seeing this on that one. Just a little bit, nothing much. Which side is this? That's the other side. And then I'm going to take off the backing to these. Just drop them on the floor for the time being. It's always difficult to get off these things. Get your fingernail under it to get it started. And it's cold, which doesn't help. Trying to get my fingers on the glue. There we go, that's them all off. So I've got no glue on my hands. Let's go over to this side, which is this one. And we'll get it in position. I mean, that snaps in quite nicely, doesn't it? So maybe that glue isn't really necessary, but we'll push that home. And as I say, that glue will obviously give it half a chance. So we'll do the same on the other one. Just a little bit on there. So this is just me being over cautious because I don't want these falling off. So it is literally just a little blob, nothing much. But it did make quite a satisfying click. So I think it's probably going to be okay. Right, I want to keep that hand away from that when I put that on there, because in fact what I'm going to do is use the cloth with that hand, and then we get it in position, lined up, pushed home. There you go, nice solid click. And obviously the tape will obviously help. So guys, what do you think? What do you think? I think it looks much better in the right colour. What do you think? Do you agree or not? I know a lot of you were telling me to leave it grey, but the paint matches perfectly. It looks like it's just come out of the factory. Absolutely perfect. That direct gloss is fantastic stuff. I did polish it up, to be honest. It didn't really need it. Fantastic stuff. So the only thing I've got to do now is just put in the not reversing, what do you call it, this thing. We haven't got the cable. They didn't come with a cable. So I'm just going to have to slot this in. Never sure whether you put the top in first or the bottom in first. Don't want to break it. Blimey, they're difficult to get in. Is it the top or the bottom that you put in first? No, that's it. There you go. There you go, perfect. Again, whoa, I don't want that blown away. That looks like a factory finish. And that finishes it off absolutely perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. What do you reckon? You would never know that it's been aftermarket painted and put on. Seamless, absolutely seamless. Well pleased with that. Finishes it off nicely. Right, so we tried to do this the other day and the computer didn't have any power in it, so after the camera running out as well, I gave up on that. So since I did the what did I do? Since I did the headlining and the back, I had the battery disconnected and all those errors have actually gone away. I still haven't adjusted the mileage yet. I still need to do that. So they may well come back, of course, but all those warning lights have gone off. However, of course, they will be stored somewhere. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to look at the body computer. Sorry, the dashboard first, and see if anything works. Excuse my shaky camera work, because this obviously is a camera and it's a bit small. I have ordered a what do you call it, a cage thing for it, but until that comes I've got to rely on holding the camera. No body computer present. Well, there is a body computer. We know there's a body computer. Obviously the car wouldn't work if there wasn't a body computer. It says present, funnily enough. It's clear errors. No fault codes. Come back, no body computer. That's weird. That's really strange. I wonder why that is. Let's go to the body computer. Obviously the car wouldn't work if it didn't have a body computer. And let's hope we can connect to it. Yes, good. Errors. Ooh. Proxy, yeah, I mean, they're all intermittent. Oh, sorry, I wasn't even pointing at them. Indicators, window relays, rain sensor, proxy configuration control, which is obviously the flashing mileage. Oh, that's probably why that's coming up, because that's a strange, it hasn't been aligned to the body computer, is it? So it's working, but it's not been aligned to the body computer, of course. That's why that came up saying no body computer. So all of those things are all present, obviously, is the proxy. Everything else is blue. Which is intermittent, so when I clear they will all go except for the proxy. Well, that'll probably go as well, but then it'll come back again. So I'm trying to see my cursor. I've got a white cursor on a white background. It's really difficult to see. Clear errors. No fault codes, and then I imagine that other one will come back. It hasn't, but it will, I'm sure. So disconnect. And then we will reconnect. Errors. No fault codes. Well, obviously it does still need a proxy control, which will do that. So I think what I'm going to do, I'll just have a look at the airbag one while we're here. I'm going to take the yellow connector off after I've done this, start the engine, then connect to the engine ECU just to see if any errors come up on there, because it would more likely to be that would be causing these lights to come on. So I just want to see, and then obviously if the lights do come back on, no fault codes on there, which is good. If they do come back on, I mean, there is always a possibility it was something to do with those back wires not being connected. It's unlikely, because none of the wires were touching. And as we know, if you get the rear hatch wiring fault, and that causes all sorts of problems. But you know, I don't think it's anything to do with that. It might be, but you know, maybe they were touching before and it's just thrown it. I don't know. But obviously, the fact that it's gone off after having the battery disconnected is a bonus. So I'm just going to disconnect just for a second, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the yellow adapter off of the Elm cable down there, and then you plug the Elm cable directly in, and then we can start the engine and connect to the engine ECU, and we'll have a look at some of the values there. So we'll be back very shortly. Right, I've connected to it, and what we have up is electronic key. Obviously we didn't have any. Invalid data from body control module, water temperature sensor, cylinder 2 ignition failures intermittent, and ignition failures recognition. So that would be the problem. Cylinder 2. So is that a spark plug? Is that the coil pack? Is that just something to do with the wiring in the back? We don't know. It's gone, and it says it's intermittent, so we're going to clear it. And then what I'm going to have to do is drive around in it for a while and see if anything comes up. Again, you know, these are the sort of codes that would always store a code if there's been a problem. Even if that problem's gone away, that fault would still be stored, but as it was there blue. If it's red, it's present. If it's blue, it's intermittent, which means it's, you know, it can't, obviously we know what intermittent means, but obviously means it may come back again. So yeah, we need to, as soon as this is completely finished, I'm going to start driving it around for a bit and see if it comes back. If it doesn't, then all well and good. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a little flick through some of these settings. Specifically, we've got a nice bit of 14 volts in the battery, which is good. I'm just going to have a quick flick through some of these settings like spark advance and stuff like that. And actually, while we're here, let's just click on spark advance, cylinder 1, cylinder 2, cylinder 3, cylinder 4. See what difference they are, if any. Hopefully not. So they're all at 0 degrees, whatever that means. Coil 1, coil 2, coil 3, coil 4. See what that's going to come up as. It's not actually measuring it for some reason. Just says milliseconds, doesn't actually say. Knock sensor, cylinder 2, could it have anything to do with that? Let's do all the knock sensor values as well. Don't know why it hasn't come up with the coil charge time. So they're all about the same, aren't they? 7, 9, 6, 8, they're all fluctuating, but they're all about within the same sort of parameters on that. So the lambda sensors, that's what I was expecting it to be, one of the lambdas. Turn all those on. Doesn't really mean anything to me, to be fair, but they're okay anyway, aren't they? They're it's not coming up with an error. So yeah, I guess we just have to. Also, there was that stop-start business as well, wasn't there? So we don't know again whether that was anything to do with the other things as well. But that's gone away as well at the moment. So that would probably be done by the cylinder. If there's a dodgy cylinder for some reason, that could possibly be done by that. So we just need to wait and see, I suppose. We disconnect. There's no errors. We just need to try it, I suppose. So that's it for that. So as we were saying earlier, we are now recording in 4K. So hopefully the file sizes won't be too big, and we can keep up with the quality. One thing I wanted to make you aware of, I should have mentioned this in another video actually, or if you're viewing the YouTube or any YouTube channel on an iPad or on an iPhone, or probably on an Android as well, in the top right hand corner of the picture when it's playing, you'll see there's like 3 dots. If you click on those 3 dots, it's a settings, and if you click on it, it will show you what resolution you're viewing at. Sometimes it does it auto, and I've noticed on a lot of my 1080p videos, it was only showing at 480, because I noticed the resolution wasn't fantastic. When I click on that, you can click on auto again, and it will then go back to 1080p. It's like a bandwidth saving thing, really, because if you're doing it on like 4G or something, you're using more bandwidth up, obviously, watching at 1080p than you would at 480. So keep an eye on that. I don't know whether it does that on a TV, probably not, or on a computer, probably not. But if you're on a mobile device, then yeah, it does do it from time to time. It changes it. So you should be able to watch this in 4K, assuming that I'm able to export it in 4K, which I think I am. Then you should be. If failing that, it'll be in 1080p, but well, we'll continue to do that. So just wanted to quickly go through with what else we've got left to do on this car. All of the parts are now ordered, and I'm hoping by next weekend it'll all be finished, assuming that we don't get any more problems on this cylinder too. So I've ordered a new glove box. It's so annoying breaking that. So I've ordered a new one of those. I've ordered the bit that goes around here. That's on order, and that will come next. They'll all come next week. What else have I ordered? I've still got to put the chrome bits on the front bumper. Still got to do that. The rear's now done. Obviously, you've just seen me do that a few minutes ago. I can't think what else. Oh, back shelf. I've ordered a back shelf. That's on its way. That's it, I think. That's all we need. As we know, as I said, the DAB's working fine now. That's it. So hopefully this will be the last video, and this car will be up for sale next week end, hopefully. And I have got someone already interested in it. If you remember the lady that wanted the white R bath, she gave me a deposit and she wasn't able to sell her car. Her daughter now wants a Fiat 500 and they want a newer one, i.e. one like this. So I've sent her sort of pictures of it in progress, and she wants to come and have a look as soon as it's ready. So hopefully I can give her a ring next weekend and say you can come over and have a look. It's going to go up for 5.5. I have literally just tipped the £5,000 mark this has cost me in total. Unbelievable the amount of money it's cost me in parts on this car. But yeah, I've just tipped the £5,000. It's like £5,040 or something I'm into now. So my intention is to sell it for 5.5, which is still a bargain. And it would be somewhere between, I was going to say 7.5 and 8, but probably somewhere between 7 and 8, probably nearer 8 to be fair, grand that is. And I'm going to sell it for 5.5. So you know, it's a bargain as far as I'm concerned, and I think anyone who compares prices like they always do when they buy the cars, they will see that they're getting a bargain. So we will be back later on in a week when the parts started to arrive and we can get this car finished, and then we're going to drive it around for a couple of days, see how it goes, with a view to getting this lady down. If we get that error back, we'll have to investigate that further, maybe change the plugs and so on and so forth. I have downloaded the service history. I got the service history from Fiat, the dealers in Fiat where this car was bought, which is only in Dartford. And I can't remember when it was last serviced, so if it does need a service, I'll give it a service beforehand. Or do I sell this car with a warranty? No, I can't afford to sell it with a warranty, not for 5.5, because I'm only going to make probably, I've got to get MOT'd. MOT runs out in June, but I have got to get it MOT'd. So we're going to be up to about 5,100. So if I sell it for 5.5, I'm only making 400 quid, which is fine, you know, it's still profit. It was I knew it was going to cost me a lot of money, but it was a good video for the channel. So yeah, it's content for the channel, wasn't it? So there you go. That's why I did it, really. I would do it again, but possibly not one that's got no bumpers, because it's the bumpers more than anything that's cost me all the money. The other bits of, you know, still cost money, but it was every part for those bumpers was expensive. So anyway, as I say, enough of this waffling, 4K waffling. We'll be back Wednesday. Accidentally pushed the record button and stopped recording. So if all the parts have come on Wednesday, by Wednesday, then we can get this finished Wednesday. Take it out for a nice long spin, and hopefully report back that I've got no issues. I hear the fan just coming in, which is good. I might get some warm air on my feet in a minute. Yeah, oh, what we got? Check ESP unavailable. See handbook. Why? I'm just sitting here. Stop unavailable. So that's still come up. Heel holder unavailable. So I need to find out why that's done that. Check engine. It's come back. Now the fan has just come on, and now that light's come up. So the engine light, check engine, has come up exactly the same time as the heel holder unavailable, stop unavailable, and so on. Exactly at the time that fan kicked in. Oh no, not exactly at the time. ESP unavailable. No, that's really weird. So I'm going to log back in now quickly and just have a look and see what errors are back. It's going to be that cylinder 2, isn't it? Right, so what's coming up is the water temperature sensor. Now that was unplugged. That was unplugged. I wonder if I've maybe not plugged it in properly. Obviously that fan has come on because the water temperature sensor has told it to come on. Now that's the thermostat. So is the thermostat faulty, or is it not plugged in properly? So I'm just going to quickly have a look and make sure that that plug is pushed home properly. And then it says present, so let's just clear it. So that's when it's coming on. So obviously the fan's coming on because it thinks the water's too hot, no fault codes. So it's either a dodgy connection or we've got a dodgy... the fan's just come on again. Let's see if it comes back. Yeah, because the errors have gone, or the check engine's gone. When I reset the code, there you go, it's come back again. There you go, water temperature sensor. So that's the problem. So I'm going to go and check that. Short circuit at ground. So it's either a faulty thermostat, or it's not plugged in properly, or there's a wiring fault with it. So we're going to check that out now. Right, it's going to be difficult to show you this. I don't know if I'm going to be able, because I can't actually get to it. It's really difficult. Where is it? Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. There's a little orange. See where that pipe's coming down in the middle of the picture? Just at the bottom of that bit, just where you can't see because this other pipe is in the way from the radiator. There you can see a little orange push thing. That little orange push thing is what sort of pushes that sensor home. It's down there. I just can't focus on it. It's in there somewhere. Where's it gone? I'm trying to push the camera. Oh, there you go. See it there in the middle of the picture? So that was sticking out. So that's where the temperature sensor is on the thermostat. It's just going in and out of focus a bit. But that's where it is. Yeah, that there, right in the middle of the picture. That was pushed. That wasn't pushed in properly. So whether that means that it wasn't quite making contact properly or not, I don't know. Look how dirty this engine is. That's another thing that's got to be done. I've also, as someone pointed out in the first video, that's over there. It was lying loose here and I put it on there. But yeah, so I'm going to try and reset the code again, and then run the engine again. It seems to be when the fan comes on that it does it. So if that hasn't done it, I think what I'm going to probably do is take the battery out, and I might even just order a thermostat. Trying to see if it's, because if you remember there's two different types of thermostat, I want to make sure I get the right one. Can't really see. Yeah, we've got to try it, I suppose. Try it, and then I'm hoping that that's why, because I had pushed it back on, and that was I think that was before I put the battery in, so that was, I possibly just didn't push it home properly, so it wasn't connected properly. Let's hope that anyway. Yeah, it does make sense. It really does make sense. So I'm gonna reset it, run the engine again, see what happens. No, it's still coming up. I just cleared the error, the fan kicked in, it stopped again, and then the fan kicked in again, and then it went. So it's obviously something. So I'm hoping, I'm sort of thinking it's probably the actual thermostat itself is knackered, rather than the actual wiring. So I'm going to get one, and what I'll do, yeah, there you go again. Yeah, it's just going to keep coming up. So I'll put the new thermostat in. Oh, sorry, what I'll do is I'll order a new thermostat today, and then when it arrives, what I'll do, obviously I've got to get the battery tray out to get to it, to get proper access to it. And what I'll do is I will look at the plug and I'll inspect the wires. And if for some reason, you know, the wires are feeling a bit on the dodgy side, I'll try, you know, repairing it, replacing it or whatever, plug wise. But it might be wise just to change the whole thing. It just means I've got to drain it down and fill it up, and they're just a pain to do those things. I don't like doing them, but yeah, at least I've identified what it is. So what I'm going to quickly do, I'm not going to bother filming it, but because it's funny that the hill holder and that is coming up at the same time. The car is running absolutely fine. It's just obviously the temperature, it can't. When you look at that, temperature it doesn't read the temperature. Look, temperature's on 0. And I know the engine's warm. So it is definitely that. It's as if it's not connected. So it probably is the actual thermostat itself. But because I've got these other lights coming up as well, which I'm not really sure whether they're going to be connected or not. So I've just done another thought. Is that temperature sensor relating to that, or is it relating to that? Because that is the temperature sensor on the radiator fan. So it might be that, because that determines the speed of the fan, and the fan is coming on too soon anyway, really. So it could be that. It is plugged in, but it might be dodgy. So that's a darn sight easy to change. I don't think I've got one. However, the bloke who I bought the front panel off, he keeps telling me he's going to deliver it, and I'm hoping he's going to come today and deliver rad pack with fan, etc. That will probably have one in. I will look at my bits, but I've got a feeling it might be that. I'm going to do a little bit of research, but if it is that, that'll be a result, because that's literally a minute to change that. So that would actually be really good. Yeah, I don't know what made me think of it, but it could well be that. And actually, is that yellow thing in properly? Yeah, I think it is, but yeah, it might be that. So we'll look into that. So one way or the other, we'll get to the bottom of this. You may have some thoughts on it. If you happen to see this before I sort it out, you might have some thoughts on it. If you get to the end of this video and I haven't sorted it out, give me your thoughts on which one you think it is. Anyway, yes, where were we? Be back on Wednesday. Right, we are back today on Project Monty. Just a couple of bits and pieces I need to tell you about, just general updates, really. Hoping to get on this one tomorrow. Still haven't touched this one yet. I've had it over 2 weeks now, I think. I've literally not touched it. I have all the parts, however. I say all the parts. I've got the seats, I've got the new headlights, which I thought I already had, which I have. I've got a mirror, which is there somewhere. Bumper, obviously. In that Mahusive box there is a front panel. The front panel with the radiator, everything else, I still haven't got, because the bloke who was going to bring it has still not brought it. He then texts me on, I thought he might come on Monday, as he didn't turn up on Sunday. Didn't come Monday, sent me a message Tuesday morning, said 100% bring it to you today, mate. And then another message saying if you're available. Unfortunately, I was at work from 7 o'clock in the morning, so yeah, I wasn't available on Tuesday. Told him I wasn't available, but I was there all day tomorrow, which is yesterday. Didn't hear from him, so I'm sort of giving up on the fact that he's actually going to ever bring it over. Yes, I was meant to get it. I kept messaging him and he never got back to me. So, you know, I was trying to arrange to collect it basically, and he just never got back to me to say, yeah, that's fine. I wasn't going to go all the way over there. It's about a 40-minute drive away through southwest London, or southeast London. So I wasn't just going to turn up on the off chance, because it's not where he lives either, it's where he keeps the parts. So, you know, it's not like he's even going to be there if I just turn up. So last week I ordered this, which is just a bare front panel. Cost me almost as much as what I'm paying for, was paying for the one that I was buying from him. But you know, I'm hoping that the radiator and air conditioning might be okay on this. Of course, I don't know yet because I've not even taken it off. But we'll see. Anyway, this I should be saying this on the video for this car, which I probably will anyway. So yeah, so as I say, I'm hoping to be on this car tomorrow. So hopefully Sunday's video will be on this. I think I'm probably going to start on the front. I was going to start here and just put the door on, but I think I'm going to start at the front and get the front done first. Anyway, let's not talk about this car because that'll be tomorrow. Also, what I wanted to point out to you was this that I have received. That box down there is an ozone generator, which I haven't taken out of the box yet. This, which I also haven't taken out of the box yet, is a spot stud welder. A stud spot welder. So what you do is you use that, you put little studs in it, where you've got your dents. Obviously I won't be doing it on here. Actually I might practice on this door. You weld little studs on, you get your pulling tool, which is included, and you pull the dents out. I might actually give it a go on this. You have to do it on bare metal, so I'll have to rub it down. Because obviously it has to get a good contact. So yeah, I say it's not even out of the box yet. I bought that from Amazon for £162, I think it was. So I may actually even use it. If we do, I know a lot of you have said on this car that might be dented under there. I don't think it is, but I am going to start to peel it off and peer down there and have a look. If it is, I'm going to try and use it on there. And I may even use it on the bit that's sticking up. Anyway, that's that car. Let's not talk about that car. So, let me just get the other car down here, the one that this video is supposed to be about, and we'll explain what we're going to do today. Right, we've got some stuff that's turned up. So we've got the proper roof trim. In there is the, what do you call it? Glovebox. As you know, I broke this, as I showed you earlier on in the video, or was it on the last video? I can't remember now. So what I'm going to do, this is quite an interesting concept actually. I have seen posts in the past on various places where people are asking, could this be put onto a pre-facelift car? And no one ever seems to have ever tried. So what I'm going to do, not on that car. I'm not going to do it on that car. Oh, excuse me, I think I've been zooming in when I shouldn't have. That's better. Yes, I'm not going to do it on that car, but I'm going to do it on a car in the future. I'm going to keep this, even though it's broken. I am going to try and fix it, because when I put the new one on, I don't even know what I've done with that spring now. Hopefully I haven't thrown that spring away. It should be here somewhere. I might be able to fix it, because I've got the handle, I've got the spring. Is that it there? Yeah, there it is. So I'll keep that. And if I can fix it, or even if I can't fix it, it will be interesting to see if that does fit on an old style car, which I'm sort of going along the lines that it might do. But it's just interesting that no one's ever done it. Because everything else, the only bit that's different as far as I can see on the dash, apart from the bits of trim, is the aperture there. As far as I can see, the rest of the dash is exactly the same. Whether the fittings are underneath here or not, I reckon they probably are. So I reckon, assuming that the screws here are in the same place as they are on the normal rubbishy tray, then it might actually be able to fit, which will be really interesting concept, because for what you can get these for, I mean, I paid 30 quid for that one. There are cheaper ones actually, but I paid 30 quid. But even the 30 quid, it's something that could be changed. It's even loose actually. That's probably me breaking it. Because I was sort of basically in the back of my feet were on there. Or even actually my backside was leaning on it, so I've probably done some damage to it. Anyway, we'll get it out in a minute. Yeah, that's an interesting concept, I think. So we'll try that at some point in the future. So yeah, that will be a future video, because that will be a great little conversion, I think. It's much better to have a proper thing than that stupid tray that's in the others, in the older cars. So I'm going to unpack that one. It's still in the bubble wrap. I haven't looked at it, so I don't know. You know, I'm assuming it's going to be okay. And then we'll get this one out and swap them over. So that's the first job of the day. Okay, I'm going to record this. I wasn't going to record it, but I think I will. Let's put the seat back. A bit more room to work. I've unpacked this. Oh, that is back as far as it will go. It's absolutely rotten, this thing. Absolutely rotten. So I'm just having a look at it to see where the screws are. So one there, one there, one there. Which, so it don't seem to be it. I reckon whoever it was, it's not that I've broken it, it's whoever was in the process of taking this car apart has removed those screws. So it's probably only held in by that back one. So I think we'll be one of the ones at the bottom as well. So we'll grab the torch. Let's put that there. It's all sticky and horrible. That I'm not going to put it on the seats. On the inside and the outside, it's got, it's horrible. Let's just go and get the torch. Right, let's have a look. Screw wise, what we got? Yeah, no screw there, no screw there, and no screw there. Oh well, maybe that's something to do with the fact that I broke it then. Okay. So it's, yeah, what about the bottom? Can't get the thing to stay shut, can I? Oh, bottom screws are still in, so we'll get those out. It's funny, isn't it, this? Whatever they were playing at, these thieves. They never completed it. Luckily it's the common screws, of which I've got millions of. Helps if you don't mess up the torch without shining it in your eyes. That's exactly what I'm doing now. This is very awkward, trying to get to the screws. Right, that's that. And then I think, oh, blinded myself. I think it's just that one at the back there, which is quite a chunky one. Whoa. And hey presto, it falls out. Right, let's get this one in. And then I should have cleaned this up first, really. It's disgusting. It really is disgusting. Should we get that bolt in first? That might be better, mightn't it? Get that screwed in there. Actually, I'll leave that loose for the minute. Tighten it up a little bit. That'll do. And then we'll get these two bottom screws in, and then we'll go and get some screws. They are the common screws. I've probably even got some in the boot, actually. I'm still really annoyed that I broke this. But these things happen. Let's get them started off. Excuse my sniffing. I've got a touch of hay fever. It is only February, but I think there's a touch of hay fever. Right. So this has just come in the post, which is good. We're literally standing there talking to my next door neighbour. It's filthy dirty. I was talking to my next door neighbour and the Hermes man turned up. So I'll give this a good clean before I put it on, front and back. So this is the different one. So this one has got movement in it, but it fits in the right place, and it comes with the screws as well. You just take off these covers, he says. I've got one off. They're just clipped on. Come on, come off. That's it. Do the screws up and then you put the covers back on again. Let's put those there. I think my hands are a little bit on the dirty side after doing that glove box. So I'm cleaning it and then putting dirty hands on it. There we go. Yeah, I've got dirty hands, so I'll just put another dirty fingerprint on it. I am waiting for another courier. I think it might be the back shelf. Oh no, that's a learner turning round. Right, what's the next thing? Don't know. that's on. That's on nicely. That blind is actually not too bad, you know. It's not as bad as I thought it was. It doesn't roll back with anger, but it is rolling back. So, yeah, that's another job done. So there's only a couple of things left to do now. We've got, hopefully, I think that's coming in the post today. We've got to change this. Get the tube out, put the tube on, might use that, although that's a bit on the dirty side, so I might not use it. I might just take off the bits I need and sell the other bits. Clean it up, because it is rather dirty, as a lot of these things often are when you get them in the post. What else? We've got to do the trim. I'm going to have to take the bumper off to do those, unfortunately, which is a nuisance. We've got to clean the wheels up. I haven't been able to get any wheels. There are just none available. I did bid on some, which is one of the subscribers of the channel. He doesn't live too far away, and he actually offered me the wheels, but he put them on eBay, and then of course they'd had some bids, and he wanted to let it go to the end of the auction, which is of course fair enough. I did bid, but they went for more money than I would have been prepared to pay for them anyway. So, and I can't find any. So I've got these same wheels on the convertible over at my sister-in-law's. So what I'm going to do, clean them up, a combination of the best wheel and the best tyre. If I have to get a couple of tyres, I will. I don't want to, because there's literally no money left in this car now. Obviously not buying new wheels will help, but if I bought the wheels, and then I could have then sold these wheels off to reclaim the money back, or some of the money back. So I'm going to go around and find the best ones I can find. I would have loved to have put the proper wheels on, but unfortunately the budget's just not there. One other thing I've got to do is I've got to try and polish this up, try and repair that. I'm hoping it'll polish up. It don't look too bad, but it is scratched, but I'm not replacing it. I am not spending another £120 replacing that. It's going to stay like that. And then the other thing I've got to do is, let me just show you. If you remember, I had the thermostat, which I think is an Alfa Romeo thermostat, which I couldn't use. And of course it's got the sensor. That's the sensor, which it won't focus. Am I zoomed in again? I keep zooming in by accident. So yeah, that's the sensor. So you can unbolt that, obviously, and presumably it's got a rubber. Looks like it's got a copper seal. Now that goes through, obviously, to there. I don't know if you can see. Let's just get in the light a bit better. That goes. See the copper bit on the end there? Not copper bit, the brass bit there. So that's the other end of the sensor. So of course, once you take that out, water's going to come out. So I don't want to drain the system down. So I'm just going to try and drain it down a bit to get past that level, and then hopefully I can get the one off of the car, which is going to be a bit awkward, but if I can get a spanner on there and get that off of the car, then I'll take this one off of here and use this one. Failing that, I've got to change the whole thermostat, which I don't really want to have to do. But what I should have done really before I do that was to buy a thermostat, just in case, because then I can do it in one foul swoop. Because if I can't get that undone on the car, or if it leaks or something like that, once I've put it on, I've then got to put it all back together to move the car and then take it off again. So I'm just contemplating now. I'm contemplating actually leaving that for the time being, just in case, and then ordering a thermostat. Yeah, I might do. Don't know. I'll have a think about that. So I'm going to end this video here. So I'm hoping I might get this video uploaded for tonight, for the Wednesday video, if I can. I will certainly try, because most of the video is already done and already compiled. It's just a matter of adding today's bits onto the end of it. So as always, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed this series. I was sort of expecting this to be the last video in this series, but there's obviously going to be one more, because I've got to do this thermostat. There's still bits and pieces to do, and I want to actually get on with this one tomorrow. So I'm going to continue working on it today, but it will be in the next video, and then hopefully the next video on this car will be waving goodbye to it, and it will be going to its new owner. So there's still MOT to do as well yet, which you know, I'm not under any illusions that it's not going to pass the MOT, but then you never know. So for the time being, thanks for watching. As always, massive thanks for all your subscriptions. We're pushing those numbers up. We're approaching 4,500 now, which is really good news. I don't know what the target's going to be for the end of the year, maybe 7,000, something like that, but we're well on our way to 5,000 now. So as always, massive thanks for watching. Thanks for your subscriptions. If you're not a subscriber, please hit that button, subscribe to the channel, push the numbers up, and yeah, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.